Lorlo's been going back to Gnar quite a bit here, so he may just harken back to his big play on the little guy.
It's a bummer, because Lorlo was always a Riven player in solo queue. I've played with his Riven, and he won the game by himself. He's an incredibly mechanically skilled player, and they keep throwing him on Gnar for the team because they already have Dardoch, Phoenix, and Piglet who want gold. If you put a fourth member on this team who needs gold, then your resources are just spread out too much. But I want to see Lorlo, and this might be the game to do it, play a carry top laner up against solo.
Why not? A lot of top laners have been going in that direction, not just the Gnar, playing more Fioras, I should say, and bigger damage dealers, like that Gangplank we just saw last game, but will be banned out.
No 100%.
With a Lulu, yeah, no 100% on the bans. He gets a pick. We'll see what the last ban is here from Team Liquid. Time runs out. It is the Rise. And what does Fox prioritize? They have a lot of switch-ups. Do they stick with somebody on the team, or do they feel comfortable in saying we can prioritize maybe a Kench, flex that, and solo might be able to do something?
Exactly. I think Tahm Kench is the one that you pick here and you flex it. It's such a powerful pick. And TL, they'll probably snatch that up in their first round if you don't take it. They might even go Kench Alistar and get mad at another playmaker. But if they don't go for that, they could pick up Corki early. They could pick up a flex. I think it's very intelligent to pick up a flex very early on in your draft, so they don't know where it's going. If you pick it last, then, of course, it's already given away. So I guess it's kind of redundant that you pick a flex first.
This is true. Taking their time, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It is going to be the Kench. I'm sure they had that on the list. They were just exhausting all possibilities that they could have gone through. The Kench still sat at the top.
Well, there's so many champions right now that people really want to ban out, and it differs from each region that you sit there and you go, okay, which one did they leave up this time? Do we want to play Trundle here? Or,
right.
No, wait, we got Tom. Oh, they left Tahm Kench. Oh man.
And this pick leaves up a Piglet Kalista if he wants to get that. They can also decide to take something else. Elise, that first not first, but a top tier jungler. And we have Alistar as well being locked in. We've seen a lot of that with the Windspeaker's Blessing going through. All those heals and MR armor. It's not too bad.
Yeah, hearing a lot of different things about this Alistar. People were running Thunderlords and people were running in solo queue, and then you run Bond of Stone and just take some damage for the other person.
You soak it up.
Now people are moving towards the Windspeakers because they're saying, oh, well, if I'm soaking up another person's damage, why don't I just give people resistances so that they can take more damage themselves?
You have AoE. Not too shabby in that sense, and we will see that being played over. So Dardoch does get his, I say his Elise, but definitely very formidable on that in the early game. He will add pressure to just about every lane in the game. What can Fox kind of deter that with here? Early game aggression of their own a bit, and Alessandra keeps the flex going, really, for what the picks they have here.
Yeah, you don't know where Tahm Kench or Alessandra will be going if they do lock those two in. But I do want to jump over back to the TL squad while they're figuring this out on Fox's side, that they picked for both of their academy guys, both their shot callers, both their vocal members here.
That's good.
So that they have the engage, but
Dardoch
they also have pick.
Matt.
It's kind of the center points of the team. So Matt now has, once again, the ability to engage these fights, and he's not on that Bard, so he's going to be able to be a frontliner this time.
Looks like he's going to have another frontliner in Lorlo's Gnar once again. What will they do on the side of Fox, though? Back on this, Katarina and Rammus being hovered. Be a very interesting game if we got some picks in here as such. But we're just sitting on some hovers right now, paying some tribute and love to friends and players alike.
Yeah, you kind of want something that's going to synergize with the Kalista a bit.
Yep.
Seeing that picked up there for Keith. And then Golden Glue, he'll have some good targets here if he can go after the Gnar in mini Gnar form, and also getting to Piglet on this Caitlyn. And I think Caitlyn is a pick that over the last week has started to pop up, and you can kind of tell scrim blocks off of it. Feel like these guys probably played each other.
Yeah.
Got smashed by a Caitlyn trap. So everybody's picking it up now in this last day, and actually yesterday too we saw a decent amount, and I like it. I think it has so much zone control that people were not utilizing before, and now people are realizing the power of cutting off an entire lane and being able to cut off choke points during the fight.
So great.
It's so hard to watch your feet during a fight. You're watching the other guy.
Or you think you can just make it around it. You'd be like, I've done this before. I've seen this gap. I can make it. And then you just get locked up and take a nice headshot to the face.
It's the worst.
What will they reply with? After seeing a Rek'Sai and a Janna picked up here, it's going to be Grigny on that Rek'Sai, so we'll see his first play on that champion. And Solos looks like he's going to be getting that Tahm Kench. Golden Glue on that list mid. What do you have here, Phoenix? really still trying to make plays. We saw the desperation with his Orianna Flash ultimate in a previous game, and he feels like he needs to make plays. So going to pick a champion that can do that.
Yeah, Phoenix. I'd like to see him on maybe a Victor in this composition. If he goes with this, then
They could use some wave clear, right? They still have that Peacemaker, but it's not going to do a ton.
Okay.
Will it be the cast? Actually, it is locked in. So with a team that wants to kind of throw people into you and still engage, it looks like it'll be a great pickup.
Yeah, but when you pick Cassiopeia, it's usually for kiting backwards, so then they'll be in this position where they're just trying to get away. Fox's team, though, they will be able to throw in a Janna, but it's a lot of disengage here. You have the Tom Kench, you have the Calista ulti, you also have the Janna.
You're not throwing in a Janna to fight.
Yeah, go! I mean, Adrian might do it, right? But his ultis have been not really what you would consider defensive Janna ultis.
Yeah. Making plays all around, so we'll see more of that Janna play. Another Alistar in the game here, and Zyrene, a possible 0-4 for Liquid to start off a split. They've never really gone 0-2 in the first week of an LCS, but now Liquid faces possibly not getting a win here. And Echo Fox, one of the teams that would somewhat be placed with Liquid right now, and these guys trying to figure out what their team's about and how they're going to play the dynamic. Both of these teams could really use this win.
Yes. Both desperately need this win to start climbing up the standings. And you talked about Liquid. They've never gone 2-0 at the start, really. They finished last season
0-2
first.
But yes.
Oh, 0-2, yes. They went 2-0 at the start of last season. I got myself confused, but still. They ended first place during the regular season last split. So this is just polar opposite for them. There's some rebuilding to do, but last year they also had a lot of rebuilding to do with Synergy when they brought on Piglet and Phoenix.
Well, let's see. Is Team Liquid going to net their first win of the season, or is Echo Fox going to hit the hen house? Let us know by tweeting your predictions at LOL Esports with the hashtag FOXWin or hashtag TLWin. You know where to put those over on Twitter. We'll be back in just a few minutes to check them out. Right now, we are flying over to the Rift. We're going to zoom in. It's Echo Fox versus Liquid. We're into Game 4 of the day, and the players, they're on the Rift.
A lot of new people to the LCS stage here. Solo and Brigney.
And also, this is kind of the first time I saw Golden Glue not with like a worried face. He is so hyped to be here right now. He's ready.
I've been hearing about it. Golden Glue on Ember is very motivated to get back in. And I was told that he's way better than the last time I saw him. So I'm anticipating a good game.
The Glue's only getting stronger.
I want to see what he does against Phoenix. Phoenix brought that cleanse to deal with it.
All right. Throwing some snakes, throwing some ice. See how it is.
I love how it just becomes a schoolyard fight. It's like,
it's like, oh, he did that.
Oh, no, he didn't.
He did that. All right, Keith, he's heading down. Looks like he'll decide to back anyways. Actually, where is Big going? It doesn't look like they've really decided on what they want to do, and with what they've seen, it looks like Big and Keith may be hovering towards that top side here.
Start on that, Start on that Gromp. Make sure that you're able to get that level advantage. But it is a lane where Alistar will take some harassment from the Janna, but he'll be able to heal it up. You will typically now take the heal level 1 and just try to sustain through the lane. You shove it a little bit with your passive, but also Piglet. Oh, there you go. He took the Q. So Matt might actually be looking for a WQ combo at level 2 if they're able to push it out very quickly. And I like this. You stand in the bush as Caitlyn. Get those extra headshots.
Get it up even more. Oh! Overkill. Also, refillable potion for Dardoch to Brigney's potions to start this one off, and just a regular start across the board. Besides the swap we have coming in, Tom Kench going to be working with the corruption potion. We'll see how this lane goes. Already the aggression within the first few seconds, and Noxious Blast getting that poison out is not too hard for Phoenix to keep the harass on.
Yep. Phoenix, though, up against Golden Glue. Phoenix has not had the best of splits, and of course, TL has gotten off to a very rough start here at 0-3, possibly going 0-4 after this game. And they want to turn that around. And I feel like Phoenix and Piglet are both feeling the pressure as the carries of the team. Yeah. You'd see Piglet after some of these games.
There's a lot of emotion.
He's like, I was playing so well, and we had them.
Right.
We had them. We were 5K up. We were winning these fights, and then it just got away from them. It's just so heart-wrenching when that happens in particular. Because you won that game. It's not like you got crushed in the beginning and messed up in a lane spot.
It's discouraging because those situations play on your mind as well. I got 2 kills in lane. You know, are we going to actually be able to push this one out, get to the base, make this work? A lot of teams have had, even last game we saw Cloud9, kind of that lax moment where everything pauses. There's a lot of inactivity, and that's where a team can really falter. happens around that 20-minute mark once all the objectives are gone and that first line of turrets are out.
Yeah, the game can be very rubber bandy right now in terms of you take minion waved turrets, you take turrets and your minion waves get buffed.
Right.
So the minion waves are going to be buffed against other
more,
minions,
you get more.
and they're going to constantly
more.
push. Right, the minions after you take the turrets are going to be able to push completely, so it's harder to freeze, and then that gold is just going to keep coming into the enemy base, and they're going to keep farming it. And it's going to be harder for you to get objectives, or harder for you to get farm, but you have objective control at that point.
Yeah.
And using that objective control is something that people, man, English is hard today. It's something that people are not utilizing on teams. Is they're not using the objective control after they got the first few turrets.
It's good. You're just excited. It was a good point.
I know. It's just the energy.
So a lot of the macro movement really hasn't been figured out by these new teams that are switching shot callers or trying to divvy up where the early game calls go.
It's also a new season, so a lot of people are still getting used to how much do I prioritize Rift Herald? Is it better to...
Right.
Could we get half damage on the turret versus a Rift Herald? Is that worth it? Can we come back and get it later? So there's a lot of tiny little micro things that will influence your decisions, and people are still figuring it out.
Right now, the micro of CSing Phoenix the Golden Glue is a bit in Phoenix's lead. As we would see, though, that long-range harass isn't allowing Golden Glue to really get into range. Nice claw farm, though. And he will be back for his first one. Tracker's nice for Griggany. He's going to allow more vision for the team in that sense. And he's going to be hovering towards that bottom side to start getting a little more knowledge about what's happening on the side of Team Liquid.
And Liquid going for the reverse part of the lane swap. And Dardoch looking for a gank here onto Golden Glue. No TP used to get back. But this minion wave is right in front of the turret. He wants to be able to make it crash against the turret. He's just going to hold it.
Nice.
So this will actually push towards Phoenix, and Golden Glue is pretty much out of lane.
Yeah, he just teleported back,
up.
too. So now he has to be sure that he stays
man.
careful, because it's Flash next. I mean, he can claw to a good situation, but look how many resources they're actually putting here, Irene, as they start to hover that top side of the mid lane. Whew, that could have been a bad situation for Golden Glue. It doesn't look like it's just over yet, as we're taking a look here at the Mastery Keystones.
They're so colorful.
I
like
know.
the first time ever. Deathfire Touch? Yeah, that thing exists. But yeah, I think this is the first time we haven't seen just boom, Thunderlords everywhere.
Across the board. Some more Windspeaker's Blessing as well.
Shout out to the graphics team.
Boom. It looks good.
Yeah.
That's right. Cheers from the crowd. Everybody's like,
one day they will all look like that when Masteries are balanced, and Keystones are definitely in a better spot.
you see everybody using the right ones. So it looks like it's going to be that Abyssal Scepter coming in for Golden Glue first off of what he had on his back there. And if things have just been playing out, no real aggression. The lane swap has kept the junglers quiet for now. Dardoch did try something middle, but still not really they have not been seen by opposing teams.
This right now is quite good for Phoenix. Phoenix has a 10 CS farm advantage right now. He's had pressure on his lane in terms of the minion wave is near his turret.
Yep.
He's been able to freeze it. But if Cassiopeia is winning lane, then that's really bad for the rest of the enemy team. Because Cassiopeia's damage output when she shows up to these fights and when she shows up mid-game, if you're sitting there going, why does she have so many stacks? Why does she have these items already? Why has she already gotten to the Archangel staff? And it just ends up being a very large amount of damage that you don't account for. It's just that, it's that whole check, right? Because I've been laning bottom the whole game, and I get hit by a Noxious Blast. It's like, wait, how does he have that much gold? And then you get chunked out.
It's not easy, especially with the passives. He just hit that 100 tick, so you're going to get a little bit more ability power out of that. Phoenix is definitely looking to be in a good spot right now. Tier stacking up for him. Still has about a 10 CS lead. And Lucidity boost very early for Dardoch. He did nothing else. Straight Lucidity boost buying that first back.
I usually see that on Rengars, where you want to get 6 and then constantly go into these lanes and blow them up. But, I mean, it's not going to get too much. But ooh!
He hasn't attacked anything yet. Don't attack anything! Aggro! Okay, he's okay. That could have been a real sticky situation. Good thing Kalista's got the hops because those minions would not have made for an easy path out of that situation.
This is a really good push for Fox because Fox caught them off guard. Piglet is shoving bottom, and they do have a TP up for solo. So if they're able to actually come out of this okay, after this dive, let's see.
I don't know if it's going to be okay. Dardoch goes up, Dardoch goes down. Matt's going to be the next one. That's 2 picked up by Keith, actually. Remember that Kalista was left up in the Elise and Alistar pick, so it went back to Fox. And Echo Fox is using it fantastically right now. They get out with those assists, and everybody got to participate in that little engage.
That's 2 for 0, and they get the turret. So Fox, with a great play there, put themselves up 2K gold. And Piglet, I don't think he has time to actually take this turret.
It won't be enough. Being seen there, they'll have a little bit vision on the exit. Those two would have taken it. No.
if it lives, okay, he's back to it. If it lives with two.
So see the early game here. Once again, there's just force. This is what we haven't seen really from Fox.
Well, it's a 5v3. They know Piglet's bottom, and he has no way to get up to this turret, so this is the best call that Fox can make. And when you dive with having Janna or somebody else take aggro, you have a Tahm Kench. Tahm Kench is going to be able to eat that person and drop aggro. Janna, if she takes aggro, you just pull her into the Fates call. So they actually have great turret diving potential here, and they used it very cleanly.
One heck of a speedy game, too. We were talking about Graves taking turrets before 10. We got 2 top turrets down now, second tier all the way here for Team Liquid. So Echo Fox really putting their foot down to start this one off. And looks like a little bit of HP and buys towards those Sunfire capes here for Echo Fox as they get back into another fight. No. Just looking to blow up some summoners. This dragon is up, and that's the priority.
And this is just right after you take some of those outer turrets, get that objective control, get it early. It does so much damage to the Scuttle Crab.
Yeah.
Throw that thing out for like 1,000.
Yeah, you're saying take turrets down, make your way to the bot.
Yep.
Objectives pretty much yours when they're cleaning up those waves.
And now they have a really good position too, because what they will be able to do is get all of this vision control inside of the blue side of the jungle. But wait, Matt! Oh, Matt's going down.
Pull him right out. Yank him out. Takes down the cow. Ren from Keith picks up another one. He's 3-0, and these are coming up on a silver platter for him. He hardly has to work for it, which feels so good as an AD carry when you're this strong already.
He's got all the kills.
Yep.
And Keith is the guy that you want to give all the kills to. We saw last year how much he actually makes use of that gold. He's a great AD carry at utilizing the resources you give him.
7-0-5 on that Lucian in their game versus Impulse on day 1 of week 1. Trying to do a little bit more. There was one loss to Cloud9. He played Misfortune. Now on to the Callista. So definitely working that champion pool for himself. We know Keith always been a very formidable opponent in the AD carry position.
And he's still a rather unknown player in terms of people know him for, oh hey, he had this stint where he had a great KDA and he was putting up amazing numbers when he subbed in for Liquid last year. Well, people still don't have a great grasp of what is his style, what does he do?
What does the Toucan do?
What does he do? But he's kind of what people would consider the cleanup AD carry, but I consider him something that you put resources into. He's not going to do it himself, but if you give him these resources, he's able to run away with the game. So he can actually fill that gigantic carry role for his team and bring people in his backpack.
If you tee it up, he can knock it out of the park.
Yeah.
See if he keeps hitting home runs for the team here. Blade of the Ruined King already finished up, and you can see Piglet, he's sitting on 1,600, but still that pickaxe right now just helping him farm out. So they're not looking to get in any fights on the side of Team Liquid with a 2,000 gold lead in favor of Echo Fox. Seem to have changed their game around in the early game, putting their foot down way more and trying to dictate it, not let the other team do that.
Yeah, and 1,400 of that gold that we're seeing in the lead is in Keith.
It's just
compared
Keith
to Piglet
alone.
It's just Keith.
Yeah, he came back with a BF sword, so it's going to be good. The headshots will hurt, but he's got to get in range for him. A little bit of harass here from Fox, doing a very nice job of getting inside the jungle. They are wasting no time right now. On to the second tier bottom turret now. Mid's already been taken, or not taken down, but they're disregarding that and safely moving back and forth through the jungle. Team Liquid can't do anything about it right now. You should be able to guard that. Yeah,
Fox is keeping the pressure up despite having 3 substitutes. You have 3 substitutes.
Yeah. They're good. You're like, know what? Let's just solo queue mode. Go.
Dynamic queue. Let's go. But they have 2 people who have played together for a while. Keith and Big, their bottom lane is intact, but also their top laner and their mid laner are both from the same team in Ember in the Challenger Series. Yeah. So they do have some built-in synergy in these parts of the map, but they're still working as an entire unit, and looks like everybody's just trusting the calls and following the calls, and they seem to know what to do around the map. Now, it looks like they can pressure mid.
Could be Big. Looking for Matt and Big here. As I say that, to get their 6s, it'll definitely help the teams out a lot, especially Team Liquid if Matt can get that and stop some dives here. Looks like Phoenix is doing all he can. Gets a hit and a Twin Fang onto Golden Glue, but not too much follow-up from the rest of the team. He's doing good. 131 in that lane to 114. You were talking about how Team Liquid wants to kite back and then do the counter engage. We still haven't got a chance to see that, so maybe that's their bread and butter once they hit it once. be difficult, though.
Yeah. Fox, if they take it slow and they don't get too overconfident, they won't fall into the Team Liquid hands. And if they focus down Phoenix, he does have cleanse, so you really don't want to throw your ultimate on him as Sandra, but it's still pretty much your best target here. Piglet, he's good for the early game. Maybe he'll get QSS mid-game, but I definitely think you try to lock up Phoenix, lower his damage output.
Liquid goes for the calls. They say, let's take Herald. It seems like Big is still communicating with the team that we take this bot lane. They're going to hear the Herald goes down. This could be the hit from Fade's call. This also might be the time. Fox goes a little too hard, and they try to go into the base. No, Golden Glue flashes over. They get the kills that they want, and it wasn't too hard. It was just right. Lorlo trying to go in for the all. Where's the damage follow-up? Lorlo then gets taken down as Big. A sliver of health from getting taken down, and it was the right call to keep going with Rift Herald just having gone down.
It was a rhetorical question. There was no damage left alive, and Piglet was too far. So that Gnar ultimate, Lorlo, I mean, I guess he's just showing, you know what, I do play a really mean Gnar. It's just they need to be on the same page. That TP play coming through, they have double TP on the side of Fox, and they're using it really well. You're going to see right here, the pings come out, double TP behind them. Boom. Both of them come out of the same ward, so it's actually quite difficult to see who is actually coming out. And you heard Rift Herald go down, so despite those two members not being there, and a great ultimate, they don't even get a single kill here.
Keith, great positioning on that as well. Make sure he wasn't in it. And that kind of, that just, again, puts that factor on Lorlo. The ult is just a few plays too late. Something already happened, and then he goes for the play. Well, he's hitting awesome ults. Nobody's ever there to really get a full advantage on him.
Yeah, I don't think he was quite ready to actually go in for an ultimate when the fight started, and that opportunity presented itself. But
as a Gnar, though, you're like, my bar's up. I want to fight. I can do this now. And then they disengage, and you don't have any bar to use.
Yeah. So they went for the Rift Herald on Team Liquid's side. As soon as you hear that thing go down, you immediately can assume that two people just killed it, because you pretty much need two to kill it unless you're a champion that has a ton of sustain. So they assume that. They immediately engage. They actually had vision of them doing it as well. So I think that Fox is playing as a unit right now, and it's quite impressive to see with 3 substitutes. And TL just looks all over the place. They look like they can't catch a break around this map.
I think it's a lot of it. Obviously, the team keeps calling. Whenever we hear that somebody calls on a team, there's still more voices. But I feel like what's happening with them is everything they've done has been pretty easy, pretty textbook, right? They're just going for turrets, full team. They're not having somebody on the other side of the map to make things scary if they get engaged on. So I think Big's just keeping the calls very plain and simple. Easy to follow calls for guys that haven't been on the team, and it's working out very well. It may be the case. It's speculation.
Yeah, and I want to go back to that top lane turret dive that happened,
right,
where Matt was the one who tried to initiate that. He was sitting in the bush as Alistar, and then as soon as Keith walked by, pulverize, headbutt him into turret range. But then everybody from Fox showed up because they were already making a play up there, and they were anticipating that was going to happen.
So we're waiting for a keyboard issue as we restart Big's client. We'll get him back in the game, and we'll get this one going right now. 15:26 in, and a lot of moves have been made by Echo Fox to start this one off. That man on your screen calling a lot of the shots as well to make it happen. Second tier turret in the top lane before 8 minutes, and then they've been roaming around the map. Still not too much pressure on mid, but it's not the easiest thing to push in a Cassiopeia as well if you don't have your team there.
Yeah, the Cassiopeia could present a problem in the mid game and near that late game. So they do have to keep the pressure on. They do have to continue to close this game out and get those turrets, because Cassiopeia will be able to defend them in Siege. You're going to have to find some creative ways, and Fox already has this game, to dive turrets with the Tahm Kench and use the disengage of Janna and try to split them up. So I think Fox have pretty much been doing a phenomenal job this game of playing the macro.
Really all around the map, and it's a reactive game for Team Liquid right now. We're waiting to see if they can get that engage, get that Cassiopeia ultimate down, and really crush down the engage of Fox here. Like you said, though, Fox can always disengage. Both teams just really know what they're doing right now. More so, Fox definitely at 6-0 on the board. It's going to be a tough week for Liquid if they cannot get this one through. Even though on the desk yesterday, Mark was saying it was a little scary to see what Dardoch was doing, because Dardoch himself, he said, can play better than that in that situation.
And Dardoch, 0-1-0 right now. In the building. They're all here. Oh, yeah, but I mean, they're watching their team right now.
Yep.
Would come up with what looks like it could be a victory for them.
Yeah.
But it's an early game lead, 4,000 gold ahead right now in favor of Echo Fox. And Echo Fox's macro game, like I said before, looks on point. They look like they're running Team Liquid around the map, and they know where to pressure. As soon as they see a numbers advantage, or what could even be a numbers advantage via fog, they think, okay, it's possible 4 people could be here because we see 3 and we don't see another, but we're just going to send 5 people up there right now. And I think that's just such a smart play to make.
Yeah.
And they calculate that Piglet would not be able to close that distance bottom and clear that minion wave and get to that turret and deal enough damage. And he's not the TP user. Piglet split pushing was a big mistake before.
They also, you had to realize Piglet was down. He was trying to get farm, so he's like, yes, these resources are great, but in no position with just that BF sword and a pickaxe to crush down any turrets, right?
Yeah.
So it helped the fact that helped Fox that he was behind a little bit at that point. So we have, I was going to say 6s across the board, but Matt still level 5, a very scary situation to be warding by himself. So TL going to have to hold their breath for a little bit until he gets that, and then maybe have a few more moves on their plate.
Yeah, Matt, half of the team's deaths right now. He's been trying to make plays, but if your shot caller gets behind as well, you do feel it as an entire team because he has a worse judge on the game. And if it's the support, he feels like he can't roam and get that deeper vision because he's going to get caught out again and again. So you don't have the vision or the knowledge to make these plays and make these calls or even see the plays of the enemy team. Do you want to talk on the Caitlyn build? Freak is probably backstage screaming because
That's why I chose you, Irene.
Yeah, because mathematically that is not a good build because IE is a multiplier, and when you don't have any other crit items, it's not worth the gold, actually. It's very, very close to being...
so then I'll push you on that and say, what would Freak say in this situation?
Freak would say, you buy BF Sword, Pickaxe, then you get a Zeal or a Zeal item, and then you finish your IE, because IE is not worth as much. You want the flat damage, CSing,
Interesting.
Buffing your abilities. That's why you don't go flat Zeal first. Then you get a Zeal. You get the crit. You get the augmentation. I got you, Freak.
Casting love. Here's the level 6 on Matt. He's a little bit safer to be in the front line now. It looks like Piglet is joining with the team here. A little bit of pressure towards the bot lane as Fox still tries to play the entire map and not just one spot. And it looks like they're actually doing somewhat of a 2-2-1 here, now leaving Solo in the bot lane by himself. And we'll see how that goes as he is Solo.
He's flying Solo.
Dragging
He's
up
got
map.
2 globals, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. You can Abyssal Voyage and get that teleport to a situation.
Yeah, he is up against Lorlo, who went for the Black Cleaver first on Gnar, so he's got that split-pushing build, but we haven't seen it be effective at all just yet, because you need the vision in order to split-push. And once you pass a certain point on the map, you pretty much can't go past it, and you just stand there as a split-pusher because you don't have the vision.
4 far side alterations on the side of Team Liquid. They're like, stay out. Do not come this way. They're trying to see you from all the way across the map.
But then there's 3 yellow trinkets still on the side of Fox.
Yeah, that are having some trouble being swept.
Exactly, alongside a Tracker's Knife. There's 1 sweeper, and there's 3 sources of wards, plus Sightstone, plus Tracker's Knife. So you have to deal with 5 sources of multiple wards.
You have an upgraded sight alteration as well by Grigney here, so they can clear even more. Not that they need it.
Yeah, he got rid of his totem as we were talking about it. He hurt us.
Yep, he knew. We need more sweep.
But there isn't too much for him to actually sweep here. You're pretty much sweeping out Big's wards, or Matt's wards at that point.
Matt's big wards.
Yeah. Small wards. Yeah, I guess they would be the big ones, right?
Yeah. Another look at this before it goes. Gotta take it down fast, boys. It's gonna despawn soon, no matter what, even if you don't want it to. They'll have it. It's probably gonna go to, let's say, Keith. Yeah?
Yeah. You want that 10% extra damage on your 80 carry.
That's
it
not
also
like
gives him
Grigney was
movement
gonna
speed.
grab it for a second. I was like, ah.
Yeah. It also gives him movement speed. It's not too helpful for Callista, but in the middle of a fight, but it's everything helps, right? The extra damage is insane.
The possible plays are inching closer and closer if they can find the one member. Distortion boots now for Matt for some lower cooldowns on those summoners. Headbutt pulverized flashes. Hopefully get them somewhere they really want to be. But it's going to be hard to find it. Like we said, these guys want to kind of peel back before they find their engage. A little disjointed.
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of Alistars rush Distortion rather early, and it's mostly because WQ, the headbutt pulverize, isn't as reliable as it was before since the reduction of the speed of the headbutt. So a lot of people are relying on the flash pulverize now, and then the headbutt backwards.
Waiting to take this one down. Fox, they're pressuring heavily. This is the first time they've really had all 5 since that first top turret takedown, the second tier one we saw. They've been having Solo in the bot lane. He actually was going to go bot. Big calls him back towards that top side. Looks like they want all the pressure onto Matt. Won't be able to get an ultimate out of him.
He wants to go.
Fox is doing a great job of working around the map. They're just slowly hook, line, and sinkering Liquid out of their base into positions they want them, and then able to get the fights. TL is taking the bait here every time.
Oh, and Dardoch just gets destroyed, and they're going to be able to take this mid turret. They have these buffed up minions, but they could have more in their sights after this as well. They are just playing, like you said, fast and loose. They're just running up there. Keith pulls the trigger, 5-0 and 1. He's only missed out on 1 kill in this game. There's the QSS. Make sure that he doesn't take too much damage from Phoenix. And that's bad, because when you have, well, that's bad for Phoenix. Not bad for Keith. Smart by Keith. Phoenix, you hit these spikes. You expect yourself to do a certain amount of damage, and when the Kalista has MR, a way to get out of your stun, and also lifesteal, you're pretty much not going to be able to kill him unless other people are jumping on him as well. And it becomes rather rough for you. You can also QSS a poison and make the E go on a longer cooldown.
That's true. That really hurts the Cassiopeia. Usually you're looking per poison about 3 fangs, but once you miss it, you basically lose all of your DPS. Not where a Cassiopeia wants to be in the middle of a fight, that's for sure. Yeah, you need that cooldown. So, look at 22 minutes on the clock. Going to be a little priority on vision around the Baron. It'd be quite risky to do here, but they would nicely be able to pull Team Liquid into a spot, blow some summoners, and have them a disadvantageous fight.
TL, not a single kill just yet for this team. They could lose this game without picking up anything, despite this being the team that wanted to skirmish over and over and over again in the previous games, and at least trade kills back and forth, but they haven't had the luxury this game.
Yeah, no kills have been traded.
Yeah, the kills have been stolen. they've been bullied out of these kills.
And I said before, pretty impressed by the fact that Echo Fox is not letting up here. They're not really giving Liquid a time to breathe. Like you said, once you get those turrets, your minions become stronger, you get more push, the other team's going to soak up those resources. But it has not been easy to soak anything up for Liquid here, with Echo Fox in their face all the time.
And playing the map becomes difficult at this point when you're pushing, because you need an abundance of wards, and what they've done is they've allocated a lot towards the Baron now, so there's pressure around that area, and it's only 23 minutes in, right? And I think this is the best play that they can do, because you can always threaten just starting up the Baron and doing it. And Keith, he has a lot of damage output at this point in the game, and you pretty much don't risk it getting stolen away when you have a Kalista.
So it's like it's going to be Baron time. Spooky Ghosts go out. And chill on to Dardoch. He'll be quite far away. The far side wards, totems are going in. But that's exactly what Fox wanted, just somebody to step out of line and try to get the pick. It's actually going to be, looks a little hard for Fox to break that final inhibitor line if they don't get these picks. Yeah. Because they're just going to stand toe-to-toe with Liquid and wave clearing.
You don't really have a long-range comp, not able to really siege the turrets. Yeah. Pretty much just throw Lissandra Qs across them, and then Kalista tries to hit it with the 550 range, so that puts them at risk for getting poked out by Phoenix. So doing damage to these turrets is going to be very difficult for Fox. They're looking for a split push situation, or to buff themselves up with a Baron, or just dive and kill them, then take the turret.
Oh, Piglet. You are so dangerous.
Oh, he's just helping.
He's got a little Dardoch help, though. He should be all right. Nobody at that point, you would hope, is still sitting in the top side of your jungle after not seeing them for so long. But you never know. It's a good way to play, is always think that somebody's in the brush next to you.
Dragon up right now. Looks like Rigne and Solo are going to head towards that, pick it up, make sure they have control on both sides of the map. And I like this, because if you only put this many people at Dragon, you don't give up all the pink ward control you have on the top side of the map. You see Keith and Big are hovering around that area, trying to protect the vision that they have for themselves. Because if this just gets cleared out for the Dragon, it's multiple minutes worth of work, and then you have to go get it back. It just feels bad. But we do see Phoenix's build actually coming online at this point. He has the Seraph's Embrace.
Alacrity as well.
Alacrity.
More speed with his Noxious Blast boost.
Yep, and he has Swifties right now. He's running at 419 movement speed on this Cassiopeia, and that's without the buff up when you hit somebody.
Right.
He's going to be zooming around. Kind of hard to get on in a fight, but Golden Blue will try to take care of that, and Keith just has shown that he has more than enough damage to deal with this team. But TL, this is a skirmishy team. They want to skirmish. Lorlo's Mega Gnar now.
And they got to make something happen. Team Liquid really struggling to put a win on the board here. 0-4 for the first 2 weeks. And definitely put some questions into the team and what they need to fix.
There's a lot of things that need to be fixed. After looking at this game, Liquid, they need to start questioning, why are we losing the map when we aren't just fighting over and over again? And this game, they actually didn't allocate numbers correctly. Wrong split pusher, taken advantage of. Fox actually put pressure on a lot earlier than you would expect for a team that had substitutes. So Liquid may have actually been sleeping on them at the very beginning.
I think it was a good idea as well by Fox to do the lane swap and kind of take Dardoch out of the early lane pressure game there and have him have to do something else.
I think that's a very good point, Riv. I definitely think that Dardoch is somebody you want to lane swap against.
Yeah.
And TL as a team, new top laner, and then they have a jungler and a support who have worked together before. So when you execute a lane swap, you actually have a support and AD carry that haven't worked together before, and you need that synergy to figure out, are we pushing, are we shoving, am I invading, are you going to be okay? And then the jungler top laner synergy also needs to be there. You need that communication. But Dardoch,
he got eaten up. Solo, however, is taking quite a bit of damage, but look how much bigger just Solo is compared to the rest of the 3 or 4 members of Team Liquid he was fighting. He almost allowed the team to get half a map away and get there for the fight.
oh wow, looks like somebody's going to go bottom and catch that big wave after Golden Blue gets this blue. But they're just going to leave all of their vision abandoned. Those wards are helpless.
Luckily, no vision to see that they backed for Team Liquid. It looked like they were going to head to a fast Baron, but it looks like it's just a fast vision clear. Make sure they have everything they need for this next fight. Dragon really not on the board just yet, so everybody's looking towards the top side of the map. Teleport is up for Solo, so it looks like you said, stay in that bot lane. He'll try to make a play for himself. And then teleport in.
And he just gets harder and harder to deal with, because when Tahm Kench has 2 HP bars and you're up against a Cassiopeia, it actually becomes a battle of mana. Because Cassiopeia is going to use so much to get him low, and that's basically how she's gated. She's not gated by cooldown, she's not really gated by too much of like a range or anything like that.
Yep.
She is gated by mana, very heavily. So she'll use it all, and she'll have that upfront burst, but then when he pops his Grey Hell, you kind of have to sit around and wait for it and not use too much on it. So Piglet's going to have to help out there a lot, especially since Solo is getting incredibly tanky.
Not going to be easy to take down the Kench. He's also, the way he played that was you have to focus, use as much as you can on me. So he's definitely using it to the correct ability. 0-0-5. And I guess there's no kills on the side of Fox. This may be the first time that one of them goes down. Abyssal Voyage being activated by Solo. He's going to come in all by himself. Matt is the one that's locked up first, and they're able to just keep going through the Alistar first. Not what you usually see. Lorlo tries to go into the back line, but where's the team once again to follow? Just on the other side of the wall. Piglet doing what he can to deliver DPS from the outside, but Dardoch falls just as fast as the Alistar, and now Phoenix is the next one in the eyes of Fox. They're onto the inhibitor turrets, and we were wondering how it would happen. TL stepped too far outside the base.
Still, not a single kill going over, and they get an inhibitor turret. They're going to get this inhibitor as well. These death timers, looking at about 25 seconds, but their health bars are actually quite low.
Nothing to really worry about. No mana. Phoenix gets hit. That's the rend out. Matt comes in. No ult. Has to be very careful and really just playing protection for Piglet. No engage there, as Fox knows they need to back off. They don't want to be caught by any sneaky stuff here as they take the time to back and get their purchases in. What a catch there. 11-0 now, 30 minutes in. They finally break the base.
So many ways to force these fights, and the problem that they're having on the side of TL is they're completely split up when these fights are starting. They're used to being the ones starting them with Matt jumping in. Now they're getting engaged on by Lissandra, by this Tahm Kench coming in the back line, and also the Janna. Big flash queued there to make sure that Dardoch was going to stay in that position. And they also have the follow-up of throwing Janna in again. This is just becoming a game where kiting back is not an option for TL. They're going to get run down.
8-0-1 for Keith. What score lines across Fox. And the confidence growing just as fast as their kill score. Golden Glue, Grigney getting popped up here. Golden Glue very low. Looks like he can keep himself safe with the Zanyas and the Glacial Tomb.
Solo?
He's doing it. He's representing the name. He's got to send a message.
He used his Tom Kench ult to get into the Krug pit, and his team had already backed off. They already made the decision.
He's like, I already clicked it, guys. I'm going.
Yep.
But you could see, even that itself, though, showed you just how reserved Team Liquid is, because they saw one guy, and they didn't know that nobody else was around him, but still didn't want to take that full.
Yeah, they don't have control. They don't have any control of this map. It's constantly being cleared out by Fox. Fox could be looking at their 4th dragon right now, and then they have multiple win conditions. Not only do they have minion waves, top, Baron control, they could also go for a 5th dragon and just continue to stall it out if they want. So the fact that they wouldn't be pushing down turrets in the near future, if they went that route, it wouldn't be a problem. But it looks like they're going to go for this Baron, and TL, they don't look any wiser to this attempt.
Stacking the spikes. See where it comes from. Dardock just out of range to really see like it's going to make it work.
Oh boy.
There's one of those Farsight. The red. Lord. So, blue team picking up Baron. Now Fox really has a way to get themselves into the base that much easier. We were talking about the wave clear before from Team Liquid. Now, that's going to become much more of a problem with Baron up minions. Not wasting any time. That fight at 30 minutes when they dropped the inhibitor just happened. 31 and a half later, Fox has Baron and Dragon number 4. These guys are on a roll this game, especially with the subs.
They've taken everything. They're taking the turrets down every lane. They're playing the map correctly. They haven't given up a single kill, so their team fights have been good skirmishes back and forth of who's low, you back up. Because not everybody on this team, is as tanky as Solo. And this is a game where if you're an AD carry player, you probably had this game before. Piglet's sitting there 0-0-0. And then he looks over his lane opponent.
8-0-1.
How did you get so fed? Like,
you haven't even killed me.
Yeah.
I didn't lose lane.
And it's frustrating. And Piglet has shown some signs of, I want to split push bottom. I want to get back in this game. But Keith is just so far ahead of him now in gold and resources that even a duel doesn't matter.
And for Piglet, positioning becomes so much harder because your shots aren't doing as much damage as you want. You're fighting back more than you're actually able to stand still and auto-attack. Does not become easy. You see Keith, as big as he is, goes in, 4 members in his face, and hops back, just gets eaten.
He's got the QSS.
Super safe.
He's safe.
Super safe.
Yeah, Big can always flash ulti on top of him.
Right.
Make sure that he has the peel that he needs. A good split push here. They do have a TP on Solo, but Solo's just hanging out with the team because if somebody gets caught, you have to eat him up, have to devour him.
Baron half done. Looks like they might get a few more hits onto this turret, and they finally start to get that Baron power play in. Now it's going to be the next inhibitor. Mid lane has been the least of Echo Fox's focus all game long. Outer turrets work around the middle of the map, and it's been working perfectly for them.
Yeah, they avoided Phoenix for a lot of this game.
Almost all of it.
Picking on the side lane, swapping to the other side, making sure that Phoenix is distracted by Golden Glue and caught up in a CS race, an arms race against him. But everybody else was getting powerful off of destroying the other members.
Crazy to see a sub-team putting up these kind of numbers as well. Golden Glue making his way back to the stage. 2-0-4, having a pretty great game for himself.
Yeah.
Only down in CS a little bit, once had the lead this game, but it has been Phoenix cleaning up all this CS that Echo Fox is putting in their pockets. Is it going to be enough, though, to put Team Liquid in a position to stop this bleeding? It is not looking good. 11-0. And they've only lost 2 of their turrets on the side of Echo Fox.
And this calls more things into question for TL. This was a roster that they were saying, okay, the dominate smoothie didn't work out. Let's put Dardock in and let's put Matt in. And they saw great results instantaneously where it looked like they were going to run away with the game. And then they ended up losing that game versus TSM. Matt trying to make a play.
Oh, he's got to go for Dardock, but you can see, or Grigney, nobody else wants that, though. Matt throws down the ultimate. That's a lot of the peel that he's going to need if the team wants to be able to use Phoenix here. Phoenix, you can see he's used the sorcery elixir, now trying to get a little bit more out of every ability he has. But the team losing turrets left and right, and top inhibitor just spawned. So it just gives Echo Fox more to work with.
Yeah, Lorlo got hit by that last Q from Grigney, and that's what they wanted. They wanted the Mega Gnar to go off, and they're going to wait for it. They're going to wait for it to fall off, and then they're going to push up again. Because Lorlo, he has his flash available if he's able to pull the trigger, and his Gnar ultimates have been good. They've just been a little late. And now they aren't going to give him the opportunity to even use it.
Unfortunate. Feels bad as a Gnar. He'll try to come back now. Remember, you still got home guards off the base, so you can still try to make a play. Matt low, his ultimate's down, and he's still standing in the front, taking tags. Never makes it any easier if you're lower health when the fight starts. The TP coming in, that's going to be a home guarded Lissandra. Will he have the ability to get in for a W? It's just there for presence, and it looks like they're going to get the inhibitor in the top side here. Very, very tense, though. They are respecting what Team Liquid has for any type of dangerous engage. I don't think it's going to go Team Liquid's way, but Fox is still leaving that option there.
This could be the final fight right here.
Yeah.
TL, they want to stay in this and look for a first 2 weeks that they can put a win in that column, because they could end 0-3 right now. The squad that ended last season in first place in the regular season,
It's crazy.
they could end this first 2 weeks in bottom to their most Matt.
Matt goes in. His ultimate isn't even up yet. They are going for a broke move here. Piglet's on the back. He's got Grigney in his eyes. They're looking at Lorlo with the Mega Gnar on. They're timing things right on the side of Team Liquid, and they actually stave off that engage, which we, like you said, we thought could have been that final fight.
They got a kill. Yeah, yeah. They got a kill on the tankiest member on the team as well. That's quite good. But yeah, now they get to push out. Now they get all these minion waves that are going to funnel into them constantly with the super minions. It's going to be hard to push them off. And you also have that inhibitor top lane that you have to defend. So Echo Fox stumbles a little bit, closing out the game there. This is only the first time that they've had any type of stumble this game.
Yep. Solo gets 1 kill. Solo death. Works out. Math is math, right? We
Just got to be
fun
different.
with math last game. 37 minutes here. It's definitely slowed down for Echo Fox, only because they've had trouble breaking the base a bit and finding the way past it. I think it's more respect out of them not wanting to give up a silly fight as they just did in a worse way, but they definitely have all the tools right now to end this game.
Yes. And judging by where Grigney's going, they're going to continue to push up the mid lane, try to get pressure, and then take 5th Dragon. And then they pretty much are guaranteed winning the next fight. They just have to execute on it. Oh, there you go. Exactly. Solo, pressure top lane, pressure this turret. He used his Abyssal Voyage to get there, or sorry, the inhibitor, and he has TP available. So you can go for this play and end up getting the dragon anyway, or you can get all 3 inhibitors.
Lick it! Lick the heck out of it! That gets a minion pressure in there.
Licking a cement wall just does not sound
Inhibitors are salty,
at all.
man. Everything in League is salty.
And that's going to be 5th Dragon right there. And everybody's already up here.
Oh, man.
What is TL doing? Oh, wait, sorry. TL picked up the dragon.
Yeah, TL. You're all right. You're all right. Just got ahead of yourself.
TL picked up their first dragon. They wanted 3 inhibs, overtaking 5th Dragon, because they can just get 3 inhibs and go for Baron.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot harder now with all those waves crashing in. Good choice. They could have gone either way. Really just playing yo-yo with Team Liquid right now. Down to the bottom, up to the top, over to the dragon, back to the Baron.
Lorlo has ulti.
All right, onto Solo. Matt's in a little far from the team. Piglet has shots onto Solo. Pretty tanky there. The damage line comes through. Golden Glue, big, actually hits them out of Golden Glue's ultimate. That could have been a mistake. He quickly goes from Glacial Tomb into the Zanyas. Piglet still fighting freely. That's Keith going down. Matt still helping out the team, but he finally hits the ground, and 3 members have been killed as Phoenix and Piglet stand on the outside doing DPS. What a fight from Team Liquid, and I think a possible mistake from Echo Fox.
And they're going to go straight for the Baron here. They still have Dardoch up, so they still have that smite available. But their bottom inhib may go down if they're delayed enough. But it's not going to happen.
Empowered back.
Oh, it's going to go down anyway.
Yeah, it's going to get hit. But wow, that's the only thing that really would have kind of shut down the waves here. I don't know if the fight goes down, Fox won't need waves to get into that Nexus. But this does give some life and a Team Liquid.
Yeah, it allows your melee minions to tank up a little bit more so that these super minions don't come spilling into your base and buffing each other up constantly. So these double super minion waves.
Let's see this
again. For a bit. Lorlo gets a really good ultimate here into the wall. He gets Keith, but then the ultimate from Big, stops the damage follow-up. So as they're stunned, Big flashes, separates everybody. So by the time they're out of the stun from Lorlo, they're okay. They're able to kite. But now everybody's not focusing on Piglet.
No.
They're trying to get Phoenix
Lorlo
down. And I like that Phoenix and Piglet don't stand on top of each other, spread it out, make sure that you can drag them to one side, and Piglet had free reign on that fight alongside Phoenix. So they're 2 damage dealers coming up big.
Things are getting interesting now. Still a 8,000 gold lead. But that fight definitely shows that, or should show the reason Echo Fox was taking it so slow going into the base, making sure they had all the positioning, because Team Liquid could easily put down a lot of DPS with Phoenix and Piglet right now.
Exactly. And
Piglet's finally got it.
And if you look over at the build that Golden Glue has right now, he only has a little bit more to grow. If you look over what Keith's getting, a little bit more, half an item. Whereas there's a full item for Piglet. A lot of these guys are going to start getting capped off, and then it's going to come down to 5th Dragon, who gets control of it, who's got the super minion waves, and how are they pushing it. It's not going to come down to items. It's going to come down to that fight.
And a bit ago, Matt had 2 ruby crystals. I wondered where they were going, and it's a righteous glory. So on these engages where Echo Fox is feeling confident, we might see a rush play here coming from Team Liquid.
If you
where
can
they
get to the
just fly, and there it is. Righteous glory goes off. A quick lick. That's all it takes. And you can't get in on that one. Just completely thwarts the active, unfortunately. All those traps being picked up. Kench likes cupcakes.
This is where you go back and forth, top, mid, top, mid, top, mid, trying to check
Yeah.
which one they're not going to defend in
This
time.
is where it seemed really flawless from Echo Fox early, where they had Team Liquid on the back burner, kind of not like ready to go to either side, and they would go top, take it, bottom, take it. Now it seems like they're definitely more happy with patiently waiting it out, but also Liquid is able to stave off this top and bottom now. As we said, the solos are getting more powerful, and they can take these 1v1s.
Yeah. And all these traps, though, that are set up, it's hard to get by them. And I talked about trap soaking yesterday, where you want your tanks to walk over them. Well, Caitlyn's been changed where you can't walk on a trap and then walk on another one immediately. There's a cooldown between when you get stunned and when you can get stunned by another one. So you can't just walk around and take all of them.
You're telling me I can't instantly eat all the cupcakes?
Nope.
Sounds like something my mom would say. 13-4 with 42.5 on the clock. Echo Fox still trying to inch their way into the base here. And like we said before, it's looking quite scary for Team Liquid as they look to figure out where they can go with the dynamic of their team in this season.
Yeah. It does not bode well that a lot of their games have gone long. A lot of their games have gotten to the point where they're just coming down to these team fights. And they've been losing the late game team fights based on history.
Got him.
But Echo Fox, with 3 substitutes, have taken them to this limit.
Yep.
They've gotten all 3 inhibitors before. There's 1 up, so it's saving them from those double waves, but it's 1 minute until that dragon comes up, and that would be the dragon for Fox.
I'm really surprised none of these wards, since they've been altered, have changed. Or trinkets on the side of Team Liquid. Still the 4 Farsight, and still the sweeper for Matt.
Yep.
Not really working with a lot of vision, but they seem to be okay with it.
Farsights are really good when you're stuck in your base,
But you have to,
because you
yeah.
don't want to face check Fog of War. We saw how some Alstars yesterday,
Right,
or
Matt couldn't get
against Dignitas, you would walk forward and be like, well, this is hard. They're all there.
Yeah.
So having the Farsight orb
The safe
definitely
play
helps
for
you.
sure. Allows Liquid to stay in their base. Now they can use a few to get a glimpse of vision, but this is where it might hurt.
Oh.
Who's going to be the first one to go in? They say, Lorlo, you are up, sir. He is going to get his Banshee's Veil blown, but that's about it, and the exact reason he bought it for. So more than happy to take that first hit and let the team know where Fox is. Go back and forth. Ults are up on both sides. All 10 ultimates. Summoner spells as well across the board
Matt.
here.
Who's looking for it?
Lorlo gets hit. Matt goes in, bumps up the team, but can they kill Solo in time? Matt now the one going down. Unbreakable gets broken. That's going to be a kill going in for Keith. Now they're starting to focus the Fates call in. Looks like they're going to keep that on the same side. They didn't want too much more engaged.
They want to back off until Lorlo is out of Meganar.
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
The ultimate from Golden Glue came down and stunned him, and he got it!
That's
Dardoch!
going to stop number 5. Dardoch does get the dragon. They're on to Keith. Dardoch's got his eyes on it, but he can't do it anymore. A nice monsoon from Big keeps things flowing in the favor of Fox, but now they have to turn. Keith and Big are actually getting away from this while Solo's on the front line versus the AD carry. Piglet and Phoenix. They have to worry about the DPS here because it's coming out fast from Liquid, but what a fight. Dragon taken by Dardoch.
Oh my god, Riv. This game's going to go on even longer. They delayed the 5th Dragon, and they're coming up with wins in these team fights. Team Liquid, their damage dealers are not getting piled on fast enough, and there was a really good play there from Golden Glue to stop Lorlo, and the mindset is right. Watch Lorlo here. Oh wait, this is actually after it. Boom. That was 27? Is that what I saw? 27 HP? Oh, it just comes down to that one ability, and Lorlo would have died there if the Dragon Burn was on Krigny. And Dardoch may have died as well.
I thought there might have been a turn there with the Howling Howling Gale, I was going to say. Not Howling Abyss. Nothing but time dash. But yeah, they choose not to fight. Now, look at Liquid.
Oh my god.
Flying up the mid lane here as we come out of the Dragon replay, and they are taking down mid. Second turret should not be a problem if they want it. It does look like Dardoch has hovered up towards the top side here. They got to be careful if they don't have it for the full thing.
Yeah, all of their inhibitors are back up. There's no pressure on their base anymore, and there isn't even something for them to TP on from Fox's side to try and backdoor this, to try and make a desperate play. Baron in 5 seconds. We're looking at another fight here, Riv.
Irene, no matter how good you're doing in a game, when that happens this late and you're still not breaking the base, there's a mental shift that happens. There's a worry that sets in. It may be that you start second guessing yourself in plays now. But I'm sure Echo Fox does not feel good about the way the last 10 minutes have gone in this game. Liquid, however, are getting that confidence back. Still just disengaging with a few shots from Piglet right now into the fights. They're able to push these Farsight wards even further forward to make sure there's no crazy engages. And a Baron fight back and forth, maybe the 50-50 that they want with all their inhibitors up here. We'll see if they can get what they want. Baron is started.
And they're going to look to try to stop this. Solo, though. Solo's not here just yet. Solo's got a TP.
TP in, Claw goes in, flash, and then the ultimate. Golden Glue, he can't actually use his ultimate, he goes down immediately. What a hit! Big uses the ultimate to push away Piglet. He uses the ace in the hole to get back in. That's Krigny going down. So Liquid looking so good at the Baron fight. Dardoch just a sliver away, and Solo can't make it happen. Liquid is back in this game.
3 for 0, and they get the Baron, and they've stopped 5th Dragon twice. These death timers are logged. They're going to be able to run straight out of the base with the Baron buff and the home guard. They're going to be able to push at least 2 turrets and an inhibitor. They might be able to end the game here. It's 40 seconds, 50 on Solo.
You talked about slots open for Liquid to continue building their inventories. Those items have either been started to recipe or almost been reached, and we see Team Liquid's composition now coming to fruition and how it should be used, how aggressive it can be. They played on the back foot the entire game and are now just exuding confidence as they make their way up mid lane.
They've got a minion wave. It's 13 on Golden Glue before he's up.
This
They're going to get some turrets.
Absolutely amazing, Cyrene. They're going for Big. Big goes down immediately. That's the first Nexus turret that's going to be eyes on for Team Liquid. The second one gets hit. Full game. Fox was on Liquid's side of the map, and Liquid pushes